Good morning. Guys, as always, I'm just dropping the Spotify playlist that I created right underneath the live video. It's also under the post I put up there yesterday. So if you choose to listen along, it's right there for you. Okay, there we go. We'll give everyone a minute or two to get in and get settled, but good morning and welcome. Once you guys check that you have everything that you need, a mat or something comparable, maybe blocks if you have them, not necessary, recommended if you have them, or something that can function as blocks just to bring the earth a little bit closer to you. Beverage, I have two. I have my tea, I have my water. Music if you choose to listen. And like I said, I've dropped our playlist that I created, but that's always an option for you. You can listen to something you'd like of your own, or nothing at all, whatever serves you best. And we are going to start lying down on our backs in Shavasana. So I'm going to wait a few minutes to get there, but if you have everything you need and you're all set and ready to go, you can go ahead and lie down on your backs and close your eyes and settle in. And I will meet you there shortly. Just give everyone another minute or so. It's just about 8 o'clock, so we'll give it another minute, and then we'll get started. All right. So for those of you that hopped right on, you probably heard some of this already, but I just want to say good morning to everyone and welcome. And thank you for joining me. My name is Erica. I'm going to be guiding you through your weekly yoga flow. One of the highlights of my week, seriously. And we're starting in Shavasana, which is lying down on our backs. So find a nice, comfy position, lying down. Take up any shape your body wants to take up. That's going to allow you to just hopefully find a little bit of stillness and peace for just a few moments. And once you're there, you can float your eyes to close and start to take some slow, deep breaths. To help try to bring about a sense of calm, which I know for many people is hard, especially someone if you're like me, it's really hard. But try to count your breath and try to make your exhales longer than your inhales, maybe even double the length. So if you inhale to 4, try to exhale if you can to 8, if not to 6. Or if you inhale to 5, nice slow exhale to 10 if you can get there. It's a little hard, but we'll try. So really try to extend those exhales. And slowly even counting the breath to yourself, which not only will help you connect to it, but it will really help keep your focus on your body, on your breath. It won't let your mind wander. So keeping you in the present moment, which is where we live. And it's the only thing that matters right now. So in just a moment, I'll meet you on my back. I'm going to get my music going really slowly in the background just to help keep pace. There we go. All right, continue with that breath pattern. Nice slow inhales and exhales, trying to just extend the length of that exhale. It's a really calming breath. And I just wanted to share one thing with you quickly before we really get going with our movements. A lot of you, maybe not all of you, some of you know that I am a teacher. You know, it's my Monday through Friday, my real gig. And I share a quote every day on our Google Classroom post that has to do either some sort of connection to what we're learning or current events or holidays, whatever's relevant. And I was searching quotes yesterday, Martin Luther King, because it was his birthday on Friday, and hopefully you guys have a day off, at least some of you do on Monday, to honor him. And there's so many good ones, but one that I just wanted to share with you because I feel like it connects to us with so many facets of our life. Yoga, working out, dieting, exercise, self-care, new goals, whatever it is. And it just said, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. And I think that's just really relevant, especially this time of year. Many of you may be getting ready to start a challenge. Maybe many of you new to yoga. You don't have to know how it's going to end to get started with something, right? You can have those goals there. You can put them out there in the universe. You can write them down, share them with people, but it's all about getting started, about taking action. So with that said, I'm going to meet you lying down on my back, but I want you to take a moment before we start to move to set an intention or bring a dream or goal into your heart, into your mind. It could be yoga related, could be work related, could be personal related, could be for someone else, for the greater good of the world. No right or wrong here. Taking just a few more breaths here on our back. Maybe take a few of the slowest and deepest you've taken so far. And then very gently, we don't want to do anything too abrupt. Start to invite some gentle movements, maybe just the fingers and the toes. Maybe a very gentle rock of the head side to side. I always like to take a quick roll of the ankles and the wrists just to invite some movements back in without disturbing the piece that I just created. And then I want you to bring a bend into your right leg. Use your hands to hug that leg into your chest. If this is too much for you, you can always bring a bend into the left leg, so just listen to your body. Okay, nothing's right or wrong as long as you are honoring where you are. Okay, maybe roll out the wrist, roll out the ankle here for just, I'm sorry, the wrist, just the ankle, the other part of the body. Rolling out your ankle, pointing and flexing the toe. Good. And then I want to invite some movement into this right leg. So either with both hands gripped, sometimes I tend to release the opposite side, so I'm releasing my left hand. I just want to take some gentle circles with this hip. They can be as big or as small as your range of motion allows. I wouldn't recommend taking them too quickly at this point. I would say keep them nice and slow since we're just waking up and warming up the body. And then whenever you come back to center, staying with the same leg, just reversing the direction. Okay. Starting to lubricate that hip joint. All movements, right? It all starts with the hip, our whole body. Good. Let's take one more full circle with this leg. When you get back center, hug it back in. If your left hand was released, I want you to actually grip the right knee with your left hand. You can release the right hand out to the side if you have some space. And we're going to take a gentle spinal twist. So guiding that right knee across the body, using the left hand on the outside of that knee just to gently guide it deeper. Gaze, even if your eyes are closed, can come off that right arm. Make sure that right shoulder is not popping off of the earth. If it is, release a little bit back off of the twist. We don't have to get so deep. We're really just warming up the body. Maybe getting a lot of pops and cracks like I am over here. Good. Trying to twist a little bit deeper just from the core each time you exhale. And we're going to take one more full breath here. So take a nice deep inhale. Good. Exhale. Try to twist a little bit deeper. Good. And then very slowly, we're going to come back to neutral. Keep that right leg bent. And we're going to find a half happy baby. And you have two hand grip options. You can either grab the big toe with your peace fingers, bent leg, drawing the knee in toward the armpit. Again, too much, just bend the left leg. Okay, so this is one option here. Or if it's more comfortable, you can just reach for the outer edge of the right foot with your right hand. I feel like I get more leverage to kind of deepen the stretch in this variation, but it's very personal. Make sure your left hip's not popping up. If it is, you can always bring your left hand to the top of the hip flexor just to keep it grounded. Again, straight leg or bent on the left leg, whatever serves you best. We're just trying to open that right hip here again. Let's take another full breath here in this half happy baby variation. Good. And then very slowly and with control, let's release that right leg. Get the left leg's bent, straighten it out. Let's take a full body stretch so arms extend overhead. Bring the legs together, touch, point the toes. And take a breath. Good. Maybe feeling a little off balance now with one side compared to the other. So let's get right into that left side. Let's hug that knee in toward the chest. Interlace the hands on top of that left knee as you draw the left leg closer to the body. Again, maybe invite some movement into the left foot by pointing and flexing the toes or rolling out the ankle. Good. And then we're going to take those hip circles. So again, you have the option to keep both hands connected. I prefer to release the opposite side. So I'm releasing my right hand and just using my left hand now to guide this left knee, really opening the left hip in some gentle circles. Doesn't matter which direction you start in, we'll hit both. But again, listen to your body as far as how big you want to go, how slow or fast you want to go. Okay, you can keep the eyes closed here. And when you finish the circle and you meet back center, just staying with the same side and just reversing the direction of your circles. Again, lubricating that left hip joint, waking it up. Let's take one more full circle in this direction. And then when you meet back center, if your right hand is released from the left leg, bringing it all the way across. I like to reach the outer edge of the knee. My left hand's going to extend out to the side. Do the same if you have the space. And gently bring that left knee across the body into a spinal twist. And again, we are not symmetrical at all. I don't know about you guys, but my twist on this side is not nearly as deep as it was on the first. And that's okay. I'm just going to gently, with my breath and with my hand, guide it a little bit deeper, making sure my left shoulder is connected. And breathing for another 2 breaths or so. Good. Very gently coming back center, releasing out of the twist, finding the half happy baby. So either with the peace finger grip on the left big toe or reaching for the outer edge of the left foot. Drawing that left knee closer to the armpit. We don't want to let this foot come out to the side. The sole of my foot is facing the ceiling and my ankle is in a direct line down from my knee. Again, the way to ease this a little bit if it's too much is just to bend the right leg and plant the sole of the foot. So pick which variation serves you and your body best. Always lots of options, guys. Just make sure you're listening to your body, okay? Good. Let's take one more full breath here. Good. For just one breath, let's extend everything long once again. Good. Let that settle in. Good. And let's hug both knees in toward the chest. Good. And we're going to take a couple of rocks up and down the length. I'm sideways on my mat, but you guys should be on the length of your mat. And you can take a couple of rocks, build a little momentum. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Just take the one to get up. If it feels good, nice little massage. Take a few rocks. And then we're going to meet cross-legged in easy seat. Doesn't matter which leg's in front. We're not here for very long. Good. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, get those shoulders away from the ears and settle in. We're going to invite some neck mobility in here. Doesn't matter if your hands are on the knees, palms up, down by your side, whatever serves you best. And I want you to sit tall through the core, suck in the belly, and drop your chin toward your chest. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Good. And feel a nice stretch in the back of the neck. And then very slowly, we're going to drop the right ear toward the right shoulder. Again, make sure the shoulders aren't lifting. Really draw that left shoulder down to get this nice stretch on the left side of the neck. And breathe. Good. Next one, very slow. You can close your eyes if you want to. Dropping the head toward the back of the room. Really lifting the chin. Feel that stretch in the front part of your neck. Really counteracting all that looking down we do on our phones, our computers, our tablets. So we're going to stay here for just another breath or two. Really draw the shoulders away. Really try to lift that chin up high to the sky. Good. Very slowly. Again, keep the eyes closed so you don't get dizzy. Become neutral first. And then we'll drop left ear to left shoulder. Again, make sure that right shoulder is not creeping up, right? We want to draw it down. Keep it neutral to get that nice stretch on the right side of the shoulder. The right side of the neck and into the shoulder. Good. Trying to release some of that tension we hold in our necks. Good. And then coming back neutral. And then just going to roll over the knees coming into our tabletop pose. So we're on all fours, hands and knees. I'll back up so you can see me. Make sure that the palms aren't too far forward. You want them in a straight line down from the shoulders. Knees just inner hips width distance apart. And they're directly down from your hips. Suck in that belly again. Keep the core nice and tight. And we're going to move through some cat-cow. So we're really going to focus on linking our breath with our movements. So take a nice deep inhale. And on the exhale, drop your belly. Lift your hips. Lift the head. Tuck the toes. I'm going to move to the side so you can see me. Good. This is our cow pose. And then on your exhale breath, untuck the toes, press through the palms as you lift your spine high to the sky and your gaze comes inward. This is our cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, tuck the toes. Good. Exhale, press through the palms, spine lifts high to the sky. And then we meet back in our neutral spine. And we're gonna do one of my other favorite ways to warm up, which is threading the needle. So inhale, right arm lifts up high to the sky. Good. On the exhale breath, we're gonna thread the needle, we call it, by bringing that right hand between the left hand and left knee onto the right shoulder, right palm facing up, right cheek to the mat. Now I can stay right here if I'm getting a nice stretch in that right shoulder, okay? But I have a few other options, and they're always options, take them or leave them. Maybe bring that left hand to the top left corner of your mat. Good. And the last option, if you choose to take it, if you want to invite a little balance, just lift that left leg hip height. Flex the foot. Keep that left hip flexor facing the mat. You don't want to open and stack here. Good. Make sure you're breathing. Eyes can be open or closed, whatever serves you best. I find I close my eyes a lot while I'm moving through these poses. Good. If your leg is lifted, bringing the left knee down to meet the right. If your left hand is extended, bringing that palm right under the left shoulder, pressing back up to straighten that left arm as that right arm comes up high to the sky. Shake it out. I'm getting some pops here. I don't know if you can hear that. Shake it out a little bit if you need to. And then return it back to your neutral tabletop. Okay, let's inhale. Left arm comes up high to the sky. Gaze can follow. And our exhale breath brings that hand down between the right hand and right knee onto our left shoulders. Left palm facing up high toward the sky. Good. And you can stay right here as you know. But try to mirror what you did on the first side if it feels okay. So if you extended that right hand to the top right corner of your mat, you can go ahead and do that. Don't rush it even though you know where we're going. Still take our time. And then if you invited balance and on the first side, you can lift that right leg. Hip flexor facing down. Toes flexed or foot flexed. Good. Don't hold your breath. Good. One more full breath wherever you are. Good. If that right leg's lifted, bringing the right knee back down slowly to meet the left. If the right hand's extended, pressing that palm underneath the right shoulder. And then pressing through it as you lift that left arm back up high to the sky. Shake it out if you need to. Move it around. And then back to our tabletop pose. From here, we're going to tuck our toes. And we're going to lift our hips high to the sky, finding our first downward facing dog. So trying to make an upside down V. And it's our first time here, so I'm going to give you a bunch of cues and just check in with your alignment. Fingertips should be nice and spread, either facing forward or slightly turned to the corners of your mat. Okay, we're trying to get our heels closer to the earth. Our head is in line with our spine. Legs are straight, and it's early, so a micro bend is okay in those knees. And I'm thinking about lifting my hips as I lower my heels, and I'm melting my chest closer back to my thighs. Okay, let's come up high on both tippy toes, and then slowly lower. Good. Stretch out those calves and get those heels a little closer. Let's do that one more time. High on both tippy toes. And then slowly lower the heels. See if they get a little bit closer. It's okay if they don't touch. Maybe you need to bring the feet in a little bit closer to the hands. Or maybe we just need to work on stretching the back of the legs, which we're going to do in our next couple of movements. So let's take a nice slow walk, one step at a time. Our feet are going to meet our hands toward the top of the mat. We're going to meet in a forward fold. So again, because it's so early, it is perfectly good and great and awesome to have a little bend in the knees. Don't lock them out. Let the top body hang heavy. Let gravity do the work, but your soles of your feet should be connected to the mat. Let your head hang heavy. And what I mean by that is you don't want wrinkles in the back of your neck like you're craning to look up. You should be looking kind of through your legs, toward your feet, toward the back of the room. Good. Let's take a halfway lift. So on your next inhale breath, bring the hands to the shins, come to a flat back, and exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Again, really let that head hang heavy here. Okay, let's prepare for a really nice, slow upward salute. So one vertebrae at a time, we're going to start to rise to stand. Don't rush. Back up so you can see me. Inhale, arms come out wide and overhead. Really suck in that core. Arms overhead. Good. And on your exhale breath, part the hands, swan dive slowly back into your forward fold. Plant the palms in front of your feet, bend the legs, step back one leg at a time to our high plank pose. And from here, we're just gonna lower the heels and lift the hips as we find downward facing dog again. Good, maybe take some movements here, pedal out the feet if you need to. And once more, we're gonna take that slow walk to the top of our mat. Maybe picking up the pace just slightly. So walking the feet to meet the hands, meeting in that forward fold. Good, let the head hang heavy again. Maybe the legs are a little bit closer to straight here, but don't lock them out. Good, and switching it up slightly. I want you to step your right foot to the back of the mat, finding a low lunge. Keep your hands connected if you need to, or I'll just show you how it looks with blocks, or if you have books or anything else that just brings the earth a little bit closer to you. Peace fingers or palms, and blocks have 3 heights, so depending on your body, you might need them a little bit higher, in between, or just a little lift here. Good, so settle in, we're high on those right toes, left sole of the foot is completely planted into your low lunge. Good, and we're gonna take a little twist here, so right hand's gonna plant inside of that left foot, left arm peels up high to the sky just for a gentle, easy twist. Gaze can be up with that left hand or down toward the right if that's too much for your neck. Good, slowly lower that left hand to frame out that left foot. And then we're just gonna very gently straighten that left leg for just a breath or two in this wide-legged pyramid as we gently fold over the left leg. We're high on the right toes. If that's too much, bump that right foot up a little bit. Good. And then we're gonna take a big step back into that forward fold. Good, maybe see how one leg again feels a little bit different from the other. And we'll do what we can to straighten that out, even it out. So this time we're gonna step the left foot toward the back of the mat, finding a low lunge now on our second side. So high on the left toes, right foot is fully connected. Really engage the core and your inner thighs, hands connected or to blocks or even hovering. It's early, we'll get there. Good, settle in here and then we'll get ready to twist. So the left palm's gonna plant inside of your right foot as your right hand peels up high to the sky. Easy twist. I didn't mention on the first side, but this is too much. You can always drop that knee. Take this modified. Nothing wrong with that. Good, let's take our final breath twisted. And then we'll lower that right hand to frame out the right foot. We'll straighten that right leg as we fold over it. High on those left toes in this wide leg pyramid pose. Good. If it's too much, bump that left leg up. We're here for one more breath. And then bringing the weight into the right foot as we step off the left toes back into our forward fold. Good. Take a breath. And let's take a slow rise again to stand one vertebrae at a time. This time, let's keep our arms down by our sides. And we're going to take a nice side body stretch here. Let's cross the right foot in front of the left. We're not too far, just a little X here. We're going to bring the right hand to the hip. And then we're going to bring the left, you can't really see me. There you go. Left arm frames out the left ear. Good, nice gentle side body stretch, feels really good. Make sure you're breathing. And then let's release this, uncross. We're just going to do the opposite side. We'll get right into it. So step that left foot in front of the right. Left hand to the hip this time. Right arm up and over, frames out the right ear. Nice gentle side body stretch. Good. You should feel that stretch all the way from the right side of the body, from the fingertips all the way down to your feet. And let's slowly release that. Good. Let's inhale, both arms up high to the sky. Maybe a gentle back bend if that's in your practice. Hands through prayer heart center as we gently fold back over straight legs into our forward fold. Plant the palms in front of the feet. Step back to your high plank. And if you want to flow with me, I'll talk you through it. If not, you can take a quick break or go right back to downward dog or just hold this plank. But if you want to flow, take a nice inhale to prepare. On the exhale, we lower halfway, arms nice and close to the body. Inhale, find your back bend of choice. Upward facing dog is just hands and feet. High cobra, you drop those hips so legs are connected. If that's too much on the back, bring it really low to your low cobra. And then we're going to find our downward facing dog. Good. Getting ready to move through some standing postures. Hopefully we're feeling nice and warm and ready to go. If you guys need to take a sip of water at any point, if I cue it or not, just go for it. You'll meet us where we are, okay? All right, so let's lift our right leg to find a three-legged dog. Good. Keep the hips square. And then we're going to bring that knee in toward the nose with that angry cat back. We're high on those left toes. And then we try to control this step through with the right foot between the hands. If you need to take a couple steps or movements to get there, go for it. This is our low lunge again. We're only here as a transition because we're going to drop that left knee, untuck the toes, so the top of my foot's now connected to the earth, and slowly lift our hands overhead. So shoulders away from the ears, pinkies are spiraled in. Good, nice and tall through the core, through the chest. We're going to take a nice little twist here. So take a nice inhale breath to prepare. And on the exhale, we twist toward our bent leg. So left arm to the front, right arm to the back, gazing off that right arm. Gentle twist from the core. Lower body doesn't really move. Good. Let's gently release that twist, and our hands are going to frame out our front foot as we straighten that right leg for a half runner stretch. So my hip is nice and high away from my heel. I'm not sinking back. I'm folding forward over this straight leg. Now your left toes can stay untucked. If you need a little support or balance, you can tuck them. Whatever feels better for you. But we're really focusing on bringing our chest closer to the leg here. Go ahead and settle in for a couple of breaths. Maybe invite some gentle movement into that foot. See how it hits the hamstring a little bit differently. Good. Let's take one more full breath here. Let's take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Let's bring the sole of the right foot back to the mat. Fingers to frame it out. Tucking our left toes. Another great place for blocks if you have them. And if you don't, no worries. But I'll show you with blocks. We're going to lift the left knee as we shift and lift into a modified warrior 3. Modified means that it's not just our foot connected, our hands are connected. So whether they're to blocks or to the ground. The left hip flexor is facing down. It's not open. Left foot is flexed hard. Trying to keep my chest as lifted as I can. I don't want to fold here. Good. Take a breath. And then slowly we're going to step that left foot back to our low lunge. And then very slowly and with control, we're going to lift those hands straight up overhead into a high lunge pose. So we're high on the left toes, sinking into that right leg, nice deep bend. Suck the belly in, spiral the pinkies in, shoulders away from the ears. Good. Take a breath. Good. Take a nice inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to turn the left foot to the side as we slice it open to warrior 2. So again, deep bend in the right leg, left leg straight, left toes facing the side, shoulders away from the ears, gazing off that right middle finger, sinking in a little bit deeper if you can. Nice strength on the right leg, nice stretch on the left. Good. One more breath, and then we'll get some relief by straightening that right leg. So breathe for me. Good. And then let's straighten that right leg. Maybe bump the left foot up slightly if you need to. We're preparing for triangle pose. Another great place for a block. I'll show you with and without. Good. So let's tilt the top body. We're reaching forward. And then we're going to drop that right hand to the block inside of that right foot. So my shoulders are stacked here, left on top of right. Gaze can be up with the left hand or down at the right or to a block. Really trying to tuck the tailbone, flattening yourself out as much as you can. Good. One more breath here. And then we're going to release that left hand. We're going to have both hands still inside of this right foot, spinning to the left toes. Heel toe this right foot to the outer edge of your mat. So right now my palms and my right foot are in a straight line. This is our lizard lunge. And you can take a couple of rocks here back and forth off these left toes. We're going to stay for a few breaths, so up to you if you want to stay lifted or if you want to drop this left knee, untuck the toes. Lots of options here too, with or without blocks. You can stay lifted, you can lower. If you have the range of motion, maybe coming to the forearms. Don't force it if it's not there. My left one easily connects, my right's a little harder. I like to actually bring my right hand to the inside of that left knee, roll into the outer edge of the right foot just to get a little gentle hip opener here. You can take a deeper twist if you'd like, lots of options. So take another 2 to 3 breaths or so to explore this pose, see what feels good for you. Good. Let's take one final breath. And then wherever you are, slowly starting to come out of it, back to where we started, which means palms and right foot in a line and connected, and on those left toes. So I'll give you a moment to get back to our lizard lunge. And then we're going to step that right leg back to meet the left into our high plank pose. And if you choose to go through your flow, moving through it, lowering halfway through your push-up, arms hugging the rib cage nice and close. Finding your back bend of choice, whether it's a high or low cobra, or upward facing dog. And reminder, you don't have to flow at all. You can hold the plank. You can go right back to down dog. You can take a quick break. We're going to be back in downward facing dog so we can move through that same set of poses on our second side. Then we'll take a quick break together after that. So left leg lifts high to the sky, 3-legged dog. Good. Make sure the head is still in line with the spine. And then we're going to bring that right knee in toward the nose with that angry cat back. We'll hover for just a moment, and then we're going to step that left foot between the hands, finding our low lunge. Good. We're only here as a transition this time. We're going to drop that right knee, untuck the toes, and lift the arms nice and high to the sky for our modified high lunge. Good. Everything square to the front of the room. And then we're going to take a little twist. So to prepare, take an inhale breath. And on the exhale, slice it open, right arm to the front, left to the back. Gaze off that left hand if you can, twisting from the core. Don't hold your breath while you're twisted. Good, nice and tall through the spine. And then slowly we release the twist. We're going to frame out the left foot with the hands, and we're going to straighten that left leg toward the front of the mat, finding our half split or our half runner's lunge. Ardha Hanumanasana is our half split. And our goal here again is to fold over that left leg. Flex those toes back toward the face. Right toes can be tucked or untucked. Make sure that hip's away from the heels. Maybe a little movement in that left foot. Good, just settle in for a few breaths. Let's take one final breath here in our half split. And we're going to prepare to shift and lift into that modified warrior 3. So bring the sole of the left foot fully connected to the mat. Tuck your right toes. And then we're going to press off that right foot to shift and lift. So again, my right hip flexor's facing the mat. I'm not opening up here. We'll find that later. Flex that right foot, keeping the fingertips connected to the earth or to blocks, trying not to fold, keeping your chest as lifted as you can here. Good. And then slow and with control, we take that step back into our low lunge. We're really just here as transition. Build your base here, get nice and secure with your legs. And then slowly we lift our arms to find a high lunge. So again, I say this a lot, but pinkies are spiraled in, shoulders away from the ears, nice and square to the front. High on those right toes, you can really sink into that left leg. Get a little burn, that's okay. Good. Nice. And then as we prepare to transition to warrior 2, take a nice inhale. And on the exhale, we turn the right foot to the side as we slice the arms open. So this time my chest and hip points are facing the side wall, sinking into that left leg, making sure it's not tracking and it's forward or slightly out to the edge. Gazing off that left middle finger. Get a little bit deeper for one more full breath, then we'll get some relief on that left leg. You know you have a straight leg pose next. Good. And straightening out that left leg, maybe bumping the right foot up a little bit, preparing for triangle. So legs stay exactly as they are, reaching forward as far as you can go. Left hand to the inside of the left foot, shoulder stacked, hip stacked, triangle. Trikonasana, or to a block. Great place for a block. Good. Really engage that core here. Feel a nice stretch, nice lengthening pose. And then we lower the hands to the inside of that left foot. Heel toe the left foot to the outer edge. We're on the right toes. I need to step that right leg back a little bit. And I'm in my lizard lunge. I take a couple rocks here. And then I'm going to give you a few breaths here. If you want to find a deeper variation, a deeper expression of this pose, you can drop that right knee, untuck the right toes. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you come to forearms or one. I like to come to one. And I like to gently open that left hip with my palm. But you should listen to your body and honor where it is and what it wants today. Wherever you are, make sure you're breathing. You might feel a little discomfort in a stretch, but nothing should be painful. If anything's truly painful, back off to where we were previously. Take another few breaths here in your lizard variation. Nice big hip opener. And then slowly preparing to come out of that. So if you are to the forearms, coming back to the palms. If you're to the edge of the left foot, planting the sole. Tucking the right toes, lifting back into our lizard lunge. The left leg steps back to meet the right. We're in our high plank pose. If you choose to take it, moving through your flow, lowering halfway. Finding your back bend of choice. Rolling over the toes, meeting back in downward facing dog. I want to give you guys a couple moments, so drop the knees, find a child's pose or hero's pose. Take a breath, take a sip of water, coffee, tea, whatever serves you best here. And then we have one more very short sequence with some focus on balance to wrap up our standing postures before we kind of bring it down at the end. So grab a sip of water, enjoy that child's pose. And then we are going to meet back in downward facing dog. Last sequence of standing poses, really focusing on balance, which is, it's a mental focus as much as it is a physical one. So downward facing dog. And this time, rather than walking the feet to the hands, we're going to walk our hands back to our feet, meeting in a forward fold at the back of the mat. And then slowly, we don't want to get dizzy. Let's rise one vertebrae at a time to stand. Okay. So we're going to start. Let's bring the weight into the left foot. So that means we're going to bring our right knee into the chest. I like to bring my hands to prayer heart center. Pressing at the midline helps with the balance. I like to find a drishti, something really small I can stare at that's not moving. And then we're going to lift that right knee into the chest. Flex that foot. But now you have the option to stay right here if you want to work on your balance. But I'm going to give you one more option here. And that's going to be to bring that right hand to the right knee and just open that knee to the side. Got a nice hip opener. You can keep the hand at prayer heart center or even extend it to the side to kind of counteract that balance. Good. Breathe. If you fall out of it, no big deal. You just get right back in, right? Good. Slowly and with control, we're going to bring that knee back into the chest area. Bring the hands back to prayer heart center. We're going to take a big step forward with that right foot. And this time we're going to shift and lift into warrior three. So we are balanced this time, but you are welcome to take it modified like we did just a few minutes ago. Okay, now, lots of options as always. You can stay here in this balanced warrior three. You can take it modified. I'm going to bring a block underneath my right hand. Okay, I want to find a half moon pose. So it's an option if you don't want to take it, stay in warrior three. But if you want to try it with or without a block, right hand comes to about 1 or 2 o'clock or fingertips. Stack your hips. I have my left hand to my left hip. Left leg is extended and flexed. So like a warrior three, but now my hip and chest points are open to the side. My shoulders are stacked. Hips are stacked. Left arm peels up high to the sky. This is our half moon, our Ardha Chandrasana. Good. And if you don't want to take half moon, like I said, you can take that warrior three, balanced or modified. Whatever suits you today. Wherever you are, take one more full breath. Good. If you're in half moon, let's come back to that modified warrior three. If you're in warrior three, bring the hands down. We're going to take that left foot to the back to low lunge. Plant the palms, right leg meets the left. We're in our high plank pose, which you can hold it here. You can add in some push-ups, or you can take your flow, lowering halfway. Kind of just to clean the slate, keep the body moving between poses, between sequences. Back bend, and then downward facing dog, so we can do that one more time on our second side. And we're going to walk the hands once more back toward the feet. Good. Slow rise to stand. Which leg do we do, right? We did this one. Okay. So this time, I had to think about that. Bring the weight into your right foot. And if by chance you mixed it up, or I mixed it up, just do the opposite of what you just did. Hands to prayer heart center. Weight is in the right foot this time. So we'll bring that left knee into the chest. Flex the foot. Find your drishti. Press the palms together. Catch your balance. Good. Don't rush it. Breathe. This is just about focus here. Mental focus, physical focus. Good. Activating those little muscles. And then if you did on the first side, we'll open that knee to the second. So left hand to left knee. So you guide it open to the side. Option to keep the right hand at prayer heart center, or extend it to the side to help. Ooh, a little wobbly, that's okay, right? Just come back to that focus. Good. Singular focus, which we lack so much. We're usually multitasking, doing 100 things at once, right? Right now we're just focusing on balancing and breathing. Good. And then start to bring that left knee back in toward the chest. Hands to prayer heart center. Taking that big step forward with the left foot, getting some relief off that right foot as you shift and lift into warrior three. So you have this balanced variation. You can always take it modified, you know that. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's your practice and your body. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. And then you know you can stay here in warrior three, but if you want to take that half moon with me, I will talk you through it. So left hand comes to a block or to the earth at about 10, 11 o'clock if you're looking at a circle. Right hand to right hip. And now hopefully you can see, I'm trying to look up. Yep. You can see my shoulders and my hips are stacked. Right leg extended hip height, right foot flexed. Final piece, if you choose to take it, right arm extends up high to the sky. This is our half moon pose. I'm going to show you from the side just so you guys can get a better view of how this looks. And hopefully I won't mess it up for you. There you go. There you go. So shoulders stacked, hips stacked, right leg straight, right foot flexed. Oh, nice. One of my favorite poses. So guys, wherever you are in this half moon or this warrior three, let's start to come out of it. Right hands down. So now both hands are down. Let's step back that right leg to our lunge. Plant the palms. Step the left leg back to meet. And if you choose to move through it, moving through our final flow, or whatever you choose, if you want to add push-ups, you want to hold that plank. We're going to meet back in downward facing dog. We're going to walk our hands once more to our feet. And we're actually going to come to sit. So when I come to sit toward the back of the mat, I'm going to extend my legs out long to the front. Just checking our time. We're good. This is our staff pose. Take a breath if you need to. Take a sip if you need to. Good work, guys. All right. Some grounding stretches to kind of round out our class today before we find our final rest. So let's take a nice inhale. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, gentle fold forward over straight legs. So try not to round the spine. Try to have a flat back and lead with your heart. Maybe gripping the shins, the bottom of the feet, whatever is available to you. If you're really open, you can always add something to the bottom of your feet to extend that reach. Good. And we're going to take a nice little twist here. Always optional, so if you want to stay right here, you can. But if you want to take a nice gentle twist, it sounds harder than it is. It's actually pretty simple. I find it to be enjoyable, but we're all different. If you want to try it, let's reach for the outer edge of the right foot with your left hand. So you're kind of crossing the left hand across the body. And then you're slowly going to lift that right foot off the earth as you reach that right arm to the back, gazing toward that right hand. So left hand grips the outer edge of the right foot. It's lifted. Sitting nice and tall through the spine, gazing off that right hand for one more breath. Good. Let's slowly release this twist. Let's bring a bend into the right leg. And let's take a gentle twist the other way. So my right elbow's to the inside of my right knee. My left hand's planted behind me. And I'm actually going to put my right hand to the outer edge of my right thigh, hip area, so I can just gently twist now in the opposite direction, gazing off that left shoulder. And breathe and stay nice and tall through the core. Good. Releasing that back to center. We're going to do something that we don't do often because I don't like it, but it doesn't mean I should eliminate it because you might love it and it's good for us. Bend the knees, plant the soles of the feet. We're going to plant the hands behind our sits bones, fingers facing toward your body, so facing forward. And we're just going to lift into a reverse tabletop. So pressing through the heels, pressing through the palms, lifting, engaging the core. I don't know about you, I feel a really intense stretch in the front of my shoulders and through my biceps. Good. Take one more breath. Good. Stretching out the front part of the body and then slowly lower. Good. Extend those legs back out. Shake out the wrists if you need to. We're going to inhale once more and exhale, fold so we can twist to the opposite side. So settle in for just a breath here, centered. Good. Whew. Reach for the outer edge of that left foot with the right hand. And then slowly we start to twist. So we're going to lift that left heel off the earth, left hand toward the back of the room, gazing off that left hand. Gentle twist through the core. Stay nice and tall through the spine. You don't want to lean back or forward. You're nice and centered and neutral. Good. Take one more deep breath here. And then slowly we're going to release out of that twist. Let go of that foot grip. Bend that left knee. Plant the sole of the left foot. Right hand plants right behind your glutes. Left elbow to the inside of that left knee. And I'm going to grip the outer edge of my right thigh with my left hand as I gently twist. My gaze is off the right shoulder. Again, twisting through the core, just in a little bit of a different direction this time. Still nice and tall through the spine. I don't want to lean back or forward. Good. Last breath here. And then slowly releasing that. Extend the legs out long. I'm just going to turn to the side for a better view. You guys can stay lengthwise on your mat. And slowly and with control, you can even bend the knees if you want to, whatever's easier. Let's take a nice slow roll all the way to our backs. Good. Once you get there, let's hug the knees into the chest. Gives ourselves a nice little squeeze. Couple final stretches before we round out class. You can stay right here if you want. I want to invite you to do a happy baby. Since we did a half happy baby in our warm-up, we can invite a full happy baby. So you can do that by taking those peace fingers again to the big toes. Or the other alternate grip would be the outer edges of the feet. And think about drawing the knees closer to the armpits, but you don't want your tailbone to lift. Your spine all the way from your neck all the way to your tailbone should be connected. If it's not, then release out of this and you can just take a reclined malasana instead by opening the knees to the side. But if you're in this half happy baby, the soles of the feet should be facing the ceiling, like you could step on it, and you're drawing the knees closer to the armpits. And you can find stillness. I know some people like to rock back and forth here, maybe even extending one leg at a time if you're feeling open, see how that feels. Again, it's always about listening to your body. I'm going to give you just a couple of breaths to explore here, and then we'll wrap things up with the spinal twists, and then we'll find our final resting pose. So taking your final 2 breaths in whatever variation of malasana or happy baby you are in. Good. And then hugging both knees back into the chest. We're going to take a spinal twist. We did it at the beginning with one knee. We have both knees bent this time. We're going to drop them both over to the right. Right hand to the outer edge of the left knee, left arm extend out to the side. Settle in for just a few breaths. Good. See how it feels now compared to how it felt at the beginning of class. Hopefully you're feeling more open, warmer. Releasing that hand grip if you have it. Right arm extends out to the side, using your core to bring the knees through center. Dropping them over to the left. Left hand reaches for the outer edge of that right knee. Gaze is off that extended right arm. Even if the eyes are closed, we gaze in that direction just to extend this twist through the spine. And settle in for a few moments. Taking a final breath or two. Releasing the hand grip if you have it. Using the core to come back center. And then releasing the legs out long. Before you get too settled in, if you need to do anything, take a sip of water, dim your lights, switch the song. If you're on my playlist, I'm just going to skip ahead to our last song, which is called Vishnu's Prayer. Let's take a nice deep breath, guys. Fill in, fill up all the way through the nose. Breathe in, fill up. Open mouth, let it go. Good, and settle into your final resting pose, coming full circle where we started just 45 minutes ago. Good, again, finding whatever variation of this pose is going to allow you to find some stillness, to find some relaxation. Try to focus on the breath, maybe counting the breath again. Whatever's going to help you keep your thoughts here with you in the present moment on your body for just a few more minutes of your day. I'm just taking a quick scan of the body to see if there's any areas of tightness, of tension that you can just release. And settling in. And if you find your mind is wandering, it's natural, it happens to everybody. Just try to bring it back to your breath, back to your intention. Count the breath again if that helped you. Enjoying the rare few moments of stillness. Hopefully a little quietness, a little calm you've created. I think so many people think that you should be able to control the mind and control the thoughts. And maybe some people can with years of practice, but the goal is really just to calm them and quiet them so they don't control you. Taking just a few more moments, a few more breaths here. And just your weekly reminder, if you have time, if your day and your schedule will allow you to stay here longer, I highly, highly recommend it. Stay another 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But if you have something that's awaiting you and your time is limited, you can start to invite some gentle movements, but try not to disturb your peace. Maybe start by wiggling the fingers or the toes. Rolling out the wrists or ankles. Take a nice full body stretch, so legs together to touch, point the toes, arms extend overhead. Good. If you're on my playlist and you're with me, this song's about to end. You guys probably know, if you're a Spotify user, that, well, depending on your settings, it'll put on some random song afterwards. So you can keep it or stop it. Let's hug the knees into the chest. And then no rush. When you're ready, you're going to roll over onto your right side, finding fetal pose. So after corpse pose or shavasana, we have our opportunity for a fresh start. Good. And then using your left hand for some support, just gently guide yourself into a seated position. Facing the front of the room, I'm going to stop whatever random song just came on. Ooh, it's actually a good one, but we'll stop it. We're going to find easy seat. Good. Hands can face up or down. Eyes can close if that's okay with you. Good. And we're going to close out class with one collective breath, even though I know we're not all together. Hopefully we will be one day soon to do this together, but let's take a nice collective breath. So breathe in through the nose, fill all the way up, and open mouth audibly, really let it go. Good. I like to end class with my hands to Prayer Heart Center. If that resonates with you, you can go ahead and meet me there, bowing the head to the heart. Thank you all so much for joining me, for allowing me to be your guide. It is truly my honor and my pleasure. Remember that darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Another MLK for you. So love and light to you all. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Hope everyone's feeling well. Have a great day, great week, and I'll see you soon.